Hey everybody, Christina here. So before we get started with the video, I just want to let you all know that this Wednesday, September 23rd, I am going to be doing a 24-hour live cast burpathon for the Burp Girl Indiegogo campaign. It's starting at 9 a.m. Follow me on social media for the links. It's gonna be so much fun, and I will love to see you there. So right now, I have 5 days left for my Burp Girl Indiegogo campaign. I'm crowdfunding for the first season. Throughout this process, I have caught kind of a lot of flack about the amount I'm asking for. I'm asking for $35,000, and they're kind of skeptical, rightfully so, as to why I need that kind of money. So I decided to break down the costs of my pilot episode that I filmed already, which will appear right here. I was able to make this pilot episode for $1,000 of my money, which to me broke me, completely wiped me clean out of the bank. But in the world of filmmaking, this is actually super cheap. Why was I able to do it this cheap? Because I had the help of the World of Heroes program that was put on by YouTube and Stanley's production company, POW Entertainment. What they gave me was the equipment for free and the locations for free for 4 days. Also, when you have a name attached like Stan Lee, you're able to get people to come on board because they want to be a part of it. So I was able to get all of the crew for free and the cast for free. But even with all that, I still spent $1,000. Now I'm going to break down the budget of what it would have cost me if I did not have the help of Stanley's production company or YouTube. So starting with equipment, I used the Canon C300 for all 4 days. Plus I used the Prime Lens kit, which is thousands upon thousands of dollars. The camera body, brand new, cost $7,000. Totally out of my budget, I could never afford it. So I would probably have to rent the C300. So those usually go for $400 a day, and I used it for 4 days, which equals $1,600 right there, just for the camera body. You cannot shoot anything with the camera body. You need lenses. I know I used more, but we'll just say I need 3 different prime lenses. Those are gonna range between $50 to $100, probably more. So for 4 different days, 3 different lenses, that's a total of $600. Now on to locations. So I shot this at the YouTube Space in LA, which is basically a big film studio. Very similar, smaller version of a Paramount or a Warner Brothers. Now I can't compare the pricing to a Paramount because that would be obscene. It is so expensive to shoot at Paramount on top of the insurance that you need to get to shoot there as well. So I'm gonna compare this more to like a rehearsal space in New York City that I used to rent out for smaller shoots. Let's say they charged me $20 an hour for 12-hour days. I did 4 12-hour days, plus let's say an extra $200 a day for insurance. So now let's hit the crew. In major motion pictures, there are unions set in place with the standard of what they're going to be paid. However, when it comes to low budget, it's kind of up to the producer to set the amounts. I'm gonna break down kind of a very low budget version of what the crew could be paid. The makeup artist is usually very expensive. $150 a day is super cheap, believe it or not, because they have to bring all of their own stuff and they're using their stuff on multiple people's faces. So for 4 days, that's $600. I had 14 crew members each day of the pilot episode, which is bananas. So let's say I was able to pay $100 a day to my director of photography and $50 a day to everyone else. So the total of all of that is $3,000.
Safe to say, I suck at math, so let's just pretend that the numbers that I'm saying match the numbers on the screen.
Now let's break down the cast. I'm not going to count myself. I'm going to pay the cast $100 a day. Now, my Burp Girl series is under SAG contract. So that means whatever I pay my actors, I have to give an extra 7% to pension and I think health insurance. I had 8 cast members. 2 of those cast members were there for 2 days. The rest were only there for 1. Therefore, the amount is $963 for the cast. Post-production, woo! This is a beast. I did all the freaking editing for this, including the sound editing and the color correction. I could have charged myself easily $1,000 to do this. However, let's just say I only did the cut of the piece. I would charge $500 for it. I would personally. So I know you don't even know what other people would have charged me. Whoo! Let's talk about some visual effects. That's the burp punch that you see in this video. That's the flip. That's the laser puke. I got quoted by a 23-year-old new visual effects artist. He quoted me $2,000 for the visual effects alone. In his defense, he's right. To do visual effects is an insane amount of time. It's the rendering process that takes so long for visual effects artists that it takes up their computer. They can't work on anything else. So what I usually do is learn how to do it myself, which of course adds time to the project. So if I teach myself visual effects on top of acting, directing, writing, producing, editing, all of this project, this series will never freaking come out. Color correction is a specialized trade. People go to school for that for years. It really, really is a very hard job to do. So a professional color corrector is going to charge anywhere between $75 to $400 an hour. Yikes, ay caramba. So let's just say I got someone for $100 an hour at a total of 24 hours of work. I easily did 2 to 3 times that amount of hours on this pilot episode myself. Sound editing is huge. But you can get a sound editor from anywhere between $25 to $50 an hour. So for this, let's again lowball it and say $25. And the sound editing was bananas on the pilot episode, which I did. And so I said 48 hours of work because it was definitely double what I did for the color correction because of all the little intricate sounds. Costumes, I was given $250, but I probably spent another additional $100 for costumes in that episode. So $350 for costumes, and art department / craft services was about $850. And by craft services, I mean like the snacks and the refreshments that you have on set. By 6 hours, I have a lunch. I always have a breakfast in the beginning of my shoots. I really try to take care of everyone that's there and make sure that they have a good time because I can't afford to pay them. Now, with all of that, the pilot episode would have cost me $15,000. Wait, hold on, let me do this right. $15,823.
Again, I'm really bad at math.
Now, I want to do the full series, so times that by 7 to do the full series of Burp Girl. What I really should have asked for was $110,000. I do not do math very well. $110,761 to do the full season of Burp Girl. I didn't make this boring ass video to discourage you. I hope this helped you a little bit in case you were curious to do filmmaking. I have been doing this for 5 years and I've never paid this amount. If I can do it, you can do it. And it's all about finding people that also have the passion that you have. Now, I've only raised 32% of my full goal, which is not very good. I don't think I've even raised $15,000 yet. And I only have 5 days left, which is fine. You know, I've raised a pretty decent amount. I'm really appreciative of everybody who's donated what they could to me, and I'm going to make do with what I've got. If you guys have any questions about filmmaking or anything, or if I bored you to death, please let me know in the comments below. But I'm really excited to do this project because it's my passion, and I'm gonna get my voice out there, and it's gonna be heard, and it's gonna be great, and I'm gonna figure it out, just like I figured out the pilot episode. And I'm excited to do this journey with y'all. Thank you guys. I love you.